Hi everybody, welcome to our live stream. We're so glad. It's weird because it's a different night. It's Wednesday night, and we're just glad to be here. We are shifting gears for the summer and getting a new schedule in. And I'm sitting in the short chair today.
Yeah, I have the tall chair.
So look down on me as if in shame.
Shame.
I'll try to sit up like a big boy, maybe get myself a couple of phone books. Remember those?
Jatan!
Phone
She's here. I
books?
haven't seen her in forever in our live chat. How
Hi,
are
Jatan.
you?
How are you?
And Faith Abounds is here. And Phil, the champion ice cream maker.
Oh
his
my
ice cream's
goodness.
awesome.
That was a home run.
Yep.
That was definitely a home run.
Good.
That was very good. It was wonderful, in fact. Yeah.
Is it Paris Leah 100?
Do what to who?
Is it Paris Leah?
Hi, Dolphin Man.
So, I hope I said that right. If not, I'm sorry.
Seating arrangement.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Hey, Dolphin Man.
Dolphin Man, I cannot tell you.
Hoffman Family Farms is here.
Hi,
Woo!
Hoffman Family
guys.
Farms. How are you? Love it. I cannot tell you how you have improved my coffee drinking. Hi, Pam Walker. Enjoyment. That has just been awesome.
Hi, Cindy.
Let's see.
We have Coco Noel. Hi, how are
Faith
you?
Abounds at Melody Acres.
Yep, and
Allison.
Hi, Allison.
How are you? Very good to see everybody. We're so glad to be here. There's so much good we're going to talk about. Right out of the gate, we've just had a really...
Okay, just so, Jatan, she's been having issues with her sugar and her insulin, so we need to be praying for her.
Oh,
so,
I'm sorry. Okay,
yeah.
awesome.
So, no,
We'll be
not
praying.
awesome.
Not awesome. Not awesome.
No, not awesome.
Awesome
What?
that we're going to pray, but
Yeah.
not... So anyway, I'll quit talking.
Yeah.
Sandy's Travel and Gardening Adventures, welcome. We're glad to see you. River Lady, how are you?
NZ Mermaid, who is a girl who is from New Zealand.
Yes, welcome from New Zealand. That is incredible that we have New Zealand represented. That's fun. Please pray, my sister Karen. I just subscribed after learning of you at the meet and greet. Oh my gosh, let's talk about that thing.
That was so much fun.
That was so much fun.
So...
You know how they say that the camera adds 10 pounds? I have to ask the question, how many cameras were actually on me?
I don't know.
I...
There's something wrong with you.
We're going to start looking at losing a few pounds over here on this end of the table because that was just crazy. We met so many great people at this meetup. I mean, we met all kinds of folks. I want to do a shout out to Leslie.
Yes.
Leslie. If you're around, Leslie, we hope you're with us. We want to do a shout out to all the folks that were at that meetup.
Dolphin Man was there.
Dolphin Man was definitely there, blessing our family, blessing our life.
Mom Paul Park.
Two Family Homestead. Chris 215
7048
4444 12.
Hey, Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Let's see, what else? Who else was there? Well, there was just a lot of people. I mean, Leslie was really... Tiny House Prepper.
Tiny House Prepper, of course.
We got to meet them before, and oh my gosh, they are just the neatest people ever. Elizabeth is just... God, like, she's just the sweetest person, and Bill is very kind, and I just really love them. So
let me tell you, Dolphin Man, if you're bringing Sweden to the live stream, we are blessed. Thank you. Bring the whole country. We could use all the help we could get. We met Brad Talby.
Yes.
We met Brad Talby. We met Chris's parents, Chris 215. He
Brad
does.
Talby.
It was magniflorious.
Yes, magniflorious.
It was magniflorious.
That's our made-up word for
wonderful
that are
things.
Wonderful.
Absolutely. We met, who else did we meet? I feel like we're missing a bunch of people.
Yeah,
It's like 130 people there.
Yeah, lots of little kids. Lots of little kids.
Yes.
Yes.
At least 2,000 kids. It was ridiculous. There were 2,000 kids running everywhere, splashing water all over everybody. It was ridiculous. It was incredible. There was who else are we forgetting? We're forgetting some. Danny B and Brian B and their kids. How are you?
Yes.
And Maggie Jo Maui's. Really enjoyed meeting you and your wonderful super family. Awesome. Yeah. We met Maggie. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we missed anybody, we're sorry. Just watch all of the videos and you're going to see everybody.
Paris Leah 100 says that her kids were there and they came home with squirt guns and she didn't know where they came from. So it was from the
they were gifts. So, yeah. Enjoy every minute of it. The rumor is that it's going to happen twice a year. So if you missed this one, maybe you can make plans for the next one. Big Family has not released the dates for the next get together. But I guarantee you, we will not miss it. It's going to be awesome. So anyway, we have a lot to talk about.
Yep.
So let's jump right into it. We always start the beginning of our live shows out with our story.
Hi, chicken stamps.
Kind of where we're at and what we do. And one of the things that we do is we sit down as a couple and go, hey, what are we going to talk about at live stream? Well, the first thing my wife tells me this morning is we got to talk about dogs and cats.
She's saying she was laughing so hard that our son was creating an army. Okay, that's our middle child, Jack. And yes. He is our thinker, planner, management person. So like when we're working in the garden, Jack really likes to tell everyone else what to do, man. But he doesn't particularly care to do the work himself. So he's busy managing people to where they need to go, and it doesn't usually work really well with his brother and his sister, but it tends to work sometimes with other kids who don't know him, because he actually has really good ideas. So yeah.
Yes. And anyway, so the first thing she says is, we got to talk about dogs and cats. And I thought to myself, that is the most boring homesteading thing we could ever talk about, but it really isn't. The thing that has happened on our homesteads, and this one in particular, is they've helped us keep the rodent population down. Gina will play a whole lot of different things. She chased a car the other day and lost, by the way.
She's not dead, though.
She's not dead.
No, but she is bound and determined to get these squirrels that make fun of her and bury nuts in her yard.
Hi, Kim Farmer.
And so she ran across the street to get a squirrel. And it was when I was at the grocery store. So she was with my mom and my kids and my nieces. And on her way back, she, the car saw her and slowed down, but she kind of hit the car and scraped herself up, broke a tooth, but she's okay. But she's really good at, I don't know, her version of whack-a-mole. Like, I've seen her, dig in the ground and pull moles up. And she doesn't get them, she just digs for them. But she's frog your elbow. What I loved Gina for the most is when we were first starting, we started with the rooster because we thought if we killed the rooster by accident, it's not quite as bad as killing the hen. So we had this rooster, he was the god-awful meanest thing ever. And he got meaner once we got hens. And he would, anytime we would let him out and just kind of free range, you would walk out the back door, he would ambush you and attack your legs. And I got tired of it, so we trained Gina to go after the rooster and scare him off.
And not the hens.
And leave the hens alone. But there was one time where, Jack was running around the house and he's like, Mom! 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 And I look and that rooster is chasing him all around the 2.5 acres that we had, and so we let Gina out and she chased after the rooster.
Okay, so Allison Butler's saying her husband shoots spitballs through straws at squirrels, not his proudest moment. I can see that. Well, the cat has taken down a 4-foot garden snake in our basement, has taken out several mice, and is probably as white as a small dog. I mean, it's just this awesome walking couch. It's incredible. I have to
tell a story of the snake that he caught. So this is when we lived in Maryland, and we had a house that was kind of a quad level. It was a 3-level house, and then it had a basement in it. And I go down into the basement, and there is this gardener snake down there. And I mean, the thing is only probably about that long. But Walter had gotten a hold of it, And he had chewed it. You know how like little kids will chew on a pencil and they'll chew it until it's all gnarly? And that's what he did to this snake. And I don't touch snakes. I don't do anything with snakes. They just...
They're icky.
Gross me out.
They're icky.
Hey, Lone Star. So...
Lone Star living.
I called Kevin at work and I'm like, you need to come home. And he was like, well, why? Because I'm in the middle of a meeting. I'm getting ready to go to the meeting. I'm like, because there's a snake in the house. And he goes, well, how big is it? I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe about like 4 inches long. He goes, well, just leave it be and it'll go outside. I said, no, it's dead. And he goes, well, then what do you need me home for? I'm like, because your cat chewed it up and left it on the floor. And he goes, you have 3 boys in that house. You need to get somebody to come get it. And so Max, my oldest son, comes downstairs and he's got a pencil and he picks
Chrissy
it up with
Green, how are you?
Pencil, and he takes it out and he throws it out into the compost pile. So that was my experience. And but then Walter.
Oh, I have a better story than that. When it comes to black snakes, mine is the best. At our house in Maryland, there's a walkway that goes up to the back door, and I agree, Heather. We have so many snakes around our house. I would totally call Jonathan over.
Snakes are. This is where I pull the girl card.
Yeah,
like that is not girl business. Taking care of snakes.
I'm walking up that walkway, and I look down at my feet, and I'm like, the kids left the hose out again. Darn it! I told them time and time. Then it moved, and it slithered past me, and then I went like a little girl, and as I did that, it went into a hole in our house, and it was hanging halfway out. It was hanging halfway out. So I grabbed the snake by the tail. The head's in the house already, and I start pulling it like this. This is a 5-foot-long snake. Okay, admittedly, it was a garden snake and non-poisonous.
It was a rat snake.
It was a black rat snake, and I didn't like it. It was a snake. I don't like touching snakes. I don't want to even talk about touching snakes. My sister has snakes at her house as pets.
We don't go visit her.
We love her, but we're not going to spend time with snakes.
No.
So I've got a hold of a 4-5-foot-long snake.
Yeah. Hey,
this thing was easily 20 feet long, folks. And I'm pulling it.
Whoa! It went from 5 feet to 20 feet? What?
Just in my mind. And Max and I took it out and put it out in the woods. It was just crazy.
Well, but first he asked me. He's like, Heather, come here. I need your help. He goes, I need you to help me get this snake. And so I slide the glass door, and I lock it, and I wait for him from the inside.
She closed the sliding glass door.
We sent Gina out there. She sniffed it, turned around, came back in the house. So
I got no help that day from my beautiful bride.
No, I did not. No.
Kim Farmer.
Well, and then Walter the cat, where we lived had a field across the street for it. So whenever they would plow the field or harvest the field, we would have mice that would come into our house. And he, for as lazy and fat as he is, he's a pretty good mouse catcher.
Yeah.
And he left one under the Christmas tree one time. He caught one. He actually caught 4 in one day, which was pretty good. And then twice he caught them and left him in front of our daughter's bedroom door and would sit there and go, meow, meow. Like you knew his I caught a mouse meow because it was weird sounding. And like he's got a broken meow anyway. Like when he purrs, he sounds like, I was the fat kid in gym class, and like, when you have to run and you get all wheezy, that's what he sounds like when he purrs. He's like,
Well, it was funny because I'd be downstairs and I'd hear this little girl scream at the top of her lungs. Ah! Dad, Walter left another dead mouse in front of my room. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
At least he was catching them. We're gonna move on though. We've got a homeschool update for you guys. Even though the kids are done, the teacher technically is not, and so she has gone through a process of getting the kids' homeschool stuff thought through, done, and then now it's got to get all checked. So I thought I would let Heather kind of explain. Yes, we homeschool our kids. We're only a little weird. It's not a big deal.
Weird. We're fun kind of weird.
Yeah, we're the fun kind of crazy.
Not hide the knives weird. So,
no.
Yeah.
At least not that you know of.
So I had Krista come over and from the big family homestead and help me because this is my first year homeschooling in Ohio. We homeschooled in Maryland. It's only our second year doing it, but we were in Maryland before. So rules change from state to state to state. So, like some states, like I understand Texas, there's not a whole lot of stuff you have to follow. If you're in a state like New York, there's a whole lot of hoops you have to jump through. Ohio's not that bad. So what I had to do is I had to take pictures of all of my kids, not all of it, but like beginning, middle, end, kind of like each quarter, like have maybe 4 or 5 things from each quarter that they did. So I showed that I did everything that they needed to do for the school year. And so Krista helped me with that. So I got all 4 of the kids' stuff done. And so what I'm doing is there's a lady that she does, you take pictures of it, you find her, I found her through Krista through Facebook, and she will look at all of your work and then have a phone conversation with you about your portfolio, which is what that's called when you do that you did. And to see if you have met all the requirements for the state that you live in. For Ohio, you need to have language arts, math, science, history, or geography. You have to have health, gym, and art, and music. So, when it comes to like music and gym, my kids were part of Upward Basketball, or they were part of the band at church, all of that counts. Mm-hmm. If they cook, that counts as home ec, so, so that's the stuff that I have to tell her that they did, because there's not a lot, like I have it written in my planner that they did this many, and in the state of Ohio, you have to have 900 hours. In Maryland, they went by days. You had to have 180 days. Mm-hmm. So,
well, we've actually done more than that because of some of the field trips that we've taken.
Yeah, because all of that stuff counts. In Ohio, all of that stuff counts, Yeah.
The biggest, if I can add this, the biggest thing about homeschooling and schooling your kids away from kind of the factory of the public school system, it is so important to do it in community. In Maryland, we had a co-op that we were a part of, but quite frankly, one of the things that's been a blessing here is locking arms with folks like Big Family Homestead who homeschool their kids. That has been a huge blessing to us because, first of all, we don't get the weird looks like you homeschool your kids, but we also get that we have the same mindset. And so Krista has some experience in Ohio homeschooling that Heather doesn't, and because of that community, they join forces, and Krista begins mentoring Heather in what we need to do, and it's just this beautiful situation where the village is raising your kids instead of just one person.
That's true, community. Allison. Cooking is science and math.
Yes, it is.
And it's science, math, and home ec,
And go back in the shower, you still smell funny, is
health.
Personal health.
So, no, I'm just kidding. But,
wash that and scrub that.
My oldest son, I had to help teach him fractions by... Hey, Donna Terry.
Hi, Donna Terry.
I teach them fractions by measuring cups, and then I would take, here's a quarter of a cup, and here's a quarter in money, and show them that it's kind of the same, because they needed that visual where they could touch it, see it, things like that.
Absolutely.
So that's what's going on. So my evaluation is coming up. I think it's either the 13th or 16th. I have it on my calendar, so I don't have to remember it here anymore. But
thank you, Mary.
So I'm getting ready to go through my first review with this lady.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. It makes you a little nervous. So
it's a big deal.
Chris told me I'm doing okay though.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
But so that's kind of our homeschooling update.
Absolutely. Homeschooling is interesting because you don't really. This is going to blow your mind, but you don't really need a diploma to go to college. You do not need a high school diploma to go to college. You need your transcripts Those are very important. Transcripts on the grades that the kids got and what they achieved in their high school years is important, but you don't necessarily... You can also get one from the state of Ohio if you really want something to frame and celebrate and have that memento. You can get one from the state of Ohio through the Board of Education. But anyway, yes. So that's our homeschool update. Yeah. This summer, we've got some plans. And I wanted to take a quick minute to talk about a place called Frakes, Kentucky. There's some places down in Kentucky where there's just not a lot of help. And so we are... Yes, Mrs. Batty is amazing.
Thank you.
By the way. Oh, yeah, I totally agree with that.
It's just you have to have a certain amount of crazy to do this. So, and I will admit to you guys that there are days where we call them S&TS days. What does that?
Sick and tired school.
Sick and tired school days.
Yep.
So that means like we'll get up and like kids in public school, they have snow days, they have teacher in service days, they have Arbor Day or whatever day it is that you get off, and we didn't take a lot of those off. No. But there were just some days where we would get up and it'd be like, oh, I don't want to do this today. And we'd go to the park or we'd go get ice cream or, something like that. So
absolutely. So anyway, back to the summer. Katie is going on her first mission trip. That's the first thing I want you guys to know. It's more of a it's an easy step. It's the first mission trip you go on. We wanted it to be something that was close by. It's about 3 or 4 hours away, and it is important to us that our kids have a mission trip experience where they go, they experience a different culture than their own, they serve another community than their own, and they put themselves out of their comfort zone. I'm not going there as dad, although I'll be her dad on the trip. I don't ever change that. That's always something that's constant. But I will...
wants to know if French is where Blue Lake is.
Excuse me?
Donna wants to know is the place that...
It's Frakes, Kentucky. Frakes. Okay. And I have no idea. I've never been there before, but we're going to a place called the Henderson Settlement. The Henderson Settlement is a place that has a lot of really great connections. It has a lot of... it's been there for a very long time, since the 1800s almost.
I want to answer this question. The mission trip close by, the reason for that is I believe the church that we're at, they kind of cycle through, like, the way that we look at missions is you have to, where Jesus talked about going from Jerusalem, Judea, and then to the ends of the earth. Mm-hmm. So Jerusalem for us would be like the Cincinnati area. Mm-hmm. Judea would be like kind of the United States, somewhere in the United States, and the ends of the earth is mission trips to like Haiti or Ecuador or Africa or things like that. And we believe that you have to learn how to serve in your own community first.
Absolutely.
Before you can be equipped to serve outside of it. Because there's a lot of times that we've been in student ministry for over, 15 years now? And a lot of times there are kids who really want to do this overseas missions trip, and what we find that it is kind of a box to check or a notch in their belt, and they can say, well, hey, I did this, but the problem is that they don't know how to share Jesus with the people that sit right next to them at lunch at school.
Donna Terry, yes. That's all I'm going to say.
So we are teaching our children, and hopefully as Kevin is in the ministry teaching the students that are under him, that you sometimes sit next to people who are hurting and who are desperate for the love of Jesus, and it's a lot easier to share Jesus with somebody who doesn't speak your language, who you will never see again, than it is to the person that you will see every single day. That's right. Those people, those are the ones that we need to start reaching out to first. So it's kind of like replicating little Jesuses. I know that kind of sounds weird.
We manufacture them down at the church. We make extra Jesuses out of people.
But teaching people to...
That's not it at all.
To love the person that is right next to you. And if you do that, then, think of how we could change the world in that situation, because that means there's more of us going out there and sharing the love of Christ with somebody.
Absolutely.
So that's the very long answer to your very short question.
Well, I was going to mention all of that, so she totally stole my thunder.
Sorry.
I was going to say all of that. We don't want to send Katie out to Haiti or some far off distant land yet, because we don't feel like she has the tools that she needs. I think a lot of people jump out into international waters and they don't even know how to swim. And so it's important to me, and I know Heather probably already said this, that it's important to us that we stair step into things. And the truth is that there's a lot of stuff going on in America right now, and America needs some attention. And we need to look around in our local schools. We need to look around in our local areas. We need to look around in our local neighborhoods and go, okay, how can I be Jesus here? I know this is about homesteading, but homesteading and Jesus to us are intertwined. We can't separate them.
Well, because we're looking at, even with our homesteading, we're starting to have stuff come in from our garden. And it's like, okay, how do we give our first fruits back to God? And
let's back up. When we started the garden, we said, in the Bible it says, take your first fruits and give them to God. So anytime we grow something in our garden, and we're not bragging, we're just saying this is how we do it. It's not
what
how
God has convicted us.
It's not how everyone is convicted to do it, but it's how we do it. That we give the first fruit, whatever that is, vegetable, lettuce, corn, tomato, whatever, chicken, whatever. Yeah. We give our first fruit to someone that needs it, someone that wants it, or wherever we feel God is convicting us to give it. And so last year we gave away some of our vegetables because that was our tithe. And people have this jacked up idea of what tithing is, but don't get me started on that. That was our tithe back to God, and by giving that food to someone that really needed it. And this year we'll do the same thing. And we're not like scouring the streets for homeless people, although we would do that. We wait for God to tell us, and he through conversation with my wife and I, reading the Bible, prayer, we keep that a secret. We don't go and brag, hey, this is who I gave this to, but we give it to the people that we feel need it, and that's our ability.
Well, and one of the things is that one of the things that Christ has called us to do is to take care of the widows and the orphans.
Amen.
And I know I have 3 widows in my family. Mm-hmm. And just today, like, and again, it's not bragging. I do it because I love her. My grandmother has to have a bar put down in her gums because the bone in her mouth has eroded away so much that her teeth don't fit anymore.
2-family homestead.
She can't. She has a hard time eating certain things. So the bread that I make, which is actually Krista's recipe, she loves. Absolutely. And she can eat it. It doesn't bind up on her. It doesn't choke her. So that is part of my way of doing what Christ has asked me to do. I mean, I have a widow in my family. My grandfather's been gone for 15 years. And I'm helping to take care of her in a way that I'm gifted. Like, I'm gifted. I love to cook. I love doing that. And that's how I can also show my grandmother, who has done so much for me and has taught me so much, that I love her and I care about her.
Absolutely.
And this is a woman who she's taught me about Jesus my entire growing up life.
Absolutely.
That didn't sound right. That's not
your entire correct. Grown up life.
That's not grammatically correct.
That's all right. But, I'll say this too, guys. It's the right thing to do. I mean, of course we love them. Of course we care about them. But it's the right thing to do. And oftentimes we just get this thing all jacked up and all cattywampus about what the right thing to do is. And so we've decided that that's what we're going to do with our first fruits. We're just,
So Katie is excited about the missions trip that she's going on. She has worked really hard to raise the money that she's needed to, and Kevin and I are of the opinion that a lot of times we see kids who their parents are like, oh, I'll just pay for that. Growing up, I had 2 brothers, and we were all in the youth group together at one time. And so, my parents were a lot like we were, where my mom and dad decided that he would be the primary income in the family and my mom would stay home with us. And so that we had somebody here, and that has always been my mom's calling in her life. She has always, and so that was mine too. And so, my parents would say, if you want to go on this trip, you need to work and, find a way to raise money for it. And whatever you don't make, we will make up for. And I think the most that my parents ever helped me with, there was one time I went on a trip to Washington, D.C., and it was like a $450 trip. And when you're 14, that's a lot of money. And they paid for $50 of it.
Absolutely.
That's the most they ever paid for. And I would get my work permit, or I would babysit, or I would, all of that kind of stuff. And I think when you have to earn it yourself, that trip means more to you than if somebody just pays for it for you.
Absolutely.
So,
there are some questions online about how can you support Katie. Well, here's the number one way that you can support Katie when she's on this mission trip: prayer. You need to pray for her. You need to pray that God continues to develop in this young lady the incredible character that He's already started. She has a thriving, and she's not just surviving in her relationship with God. She is thriving in her relationship with God, and so we want to see that develop. Anything else is icing on the cake, and I can give you more details if you email info.goinbatty@gmail.com. Financially, there are all kinds of ways you can support that mission trip, but we're not going to talk about that here because this is about homesteading.
Well, and we had a couple of questions about how does, I guess, Katie, how do we teach her to kind of deal with anxiety and stuff like that? We're fortunate because Katie doesn't deal with a whole lot of that. I mean, she has her moments, but we tell her that, again, like, I can't think of what I'm saying now. I'm sorry.
It's one of these things where, is it anxiety about the trip? Is that what we're talking about?
I'm not sure. Just in general, I think.
I didn't get to read the question. General anxiety, let's see. Yes. So she doesn't have anxiety like to the nth degree. She has nervous moments where she's like, I don't know if I can do this. How do I do this? And Katie is very good.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Katie is very good at asking questions. Yeah. She will pull one of us aside and go, I don't understand something. Can you explain this? And when we talk to her, and even better, and parents, please hear me, this is the key to homesteading anyway, in my opinion. Listen hard. Listen to the point where you're tired at the end. Don't talk as much, but listen to the concerns. Listen to her feelings on it. Ask questions of, well, what do you think back? Because I think as parents, we want to talk so much at our kids. We want to tell them what we know, tell them how we know it, and show them what to do that we completely miss the opportunity to listen. Now, that pacifies or maybe even tempers the anxiety in the moment, the excitement about going somewhere new, something different. But here's a little secret about Katie that you don't know. All right, this is going to be an expose on Katie. Katie loves adventure, and she won't admit it to anybody else, but she just loves going outside of her box, outside of her comfort zone. She will contently sit and read a book too, but it'll be on this massive adventure that Tom Sawyer had or something like that.
I'm sorry.
Or the Nancy Drew. So yeah. I just want to encourage you guys that she is excited about this trip. She's ready for this trip. Go ahead, my love.
I think is it Adelaine? Marie Robinson, I think you're right. Sometimes it boils down to your parents. And if you don't have, and I'm just saying this, like, I know people who, they grew up in rough environments. Yeah. And they grew up with parents who were not so loving to them. If you cannot, if that's not the environment that you were raised in, then find somebody that can be that type of person. I can tell you that my parents were those people to a lot of young people growing up. But my dad was that person for him. You know, and I mean, and we're talking like we met when I was 26 and he was 30. So you can still learn from something, and there will always be people in your life who will look at you, and even if your parents aren't going, you know, I'm for you, I'm cheering for you, there are always people that you can find that go, you're worth something, and let me help you walk through this. Because I think a lot of times as parents, we have to help our children walk through things. Like, you know, Katie had a little bit of anxiety one time over doing the sound for church. One time she's like, I don't know if I can do this. And it was kind of, well, sweetheart, do you want to? Well, yeah, I'd like to. Well, then give it a try. All you can do is try, and there will be people there beside you who will walk beside you and help you.
So we're at a Methodist church right now where I'm pastoring youth, and I've been teaching Katie what I know about. I teach all my kids what I know about ProPresenter and computers and how to project the images up on the screens, the big screens at these churches. There's a lot of technology behind that, and Katie, in the big service, now runs those slides.
Yeah.
At 13, she's learning how to do that. So proud pop-up, bragging on my kids. All of my kids will have that ability. Max is good at it. Jack will be taught. Miles, all of them will be good at it because they have that. So I just want to, encourage you guys that we're not anybody special.
No, we're not.
We've made as many mistakes as we've had successes.
Yes, we have.
And we have learned through a lot of things that in parenting and through homesteading, a lot of it is be quiet and observe. And see what your child is really trying to tell you. And I don't want this to become child advice by Kevin and Heather, but there are some things that we've experienced as parents way before we started homesteading that have kind of paved the way for Katie to express her faith, Max to express his faith, Jack and Miles to express their faiths in their own way. And so it's their faith, and it's their decision on how they let that play out.
Yeah.
There's a noise happening behind us. I don't know what's
Somebody
happening.
Turned the sink on.
Oh, there it is.
It's okay. At least it's not the dog drinking out of the toilet.
Well, that's true. No,
there
it's good. Anyway, let's we're gonna shift gears a little bit, but our ADD may bring us back to some of these topics. I have a huge announcement. Big announcement. Oh my gosh, this is going to be ginormous. I would watch Child Advice by Kevin and Heather. That's funny right there.
It's going to be really short show. It's right here. Do what God has called you to do. Be a parent to your child while they're young, not their friend.
Right.
The friendship comes later. I'm friends with my mom. And when you make a mistake, apologize and know that God's grace covers it. All done.
Boom.
There we go. There's the parent.
Drop the mic.
Walk out of the room.
Boing! No, I think where the fun is that we're rubbing shoulders with each other, going through this life together.
Yeah.
Is what I mean by that, and that we're joining forces on this silly little YouTube channel to say homesteading isn't just homesteading, it's parenting, it's faith, it's all of these things, and we have to do it while doing all the other things too. And so I think Heather is got great wisdom. I totally married up, by the way. She is amazing, and we're gonna continue.
Adelaide, I want you to know I'm going to be praying for you that you find somebody in your life who can encourage you in a parental way. I'm going to be praying for you for that, so that you know that God is going to bring somebody into your life to help you navigate that part of your life, so that there is not so much hurt there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a long. If we do a Friday night freestyle, we'll talk a little bit about my experience growing up, because that was a lot different than Heather's.
A lot different than mine.
Day and night. So good night, preemie mom, 2 twins.
What are you doing?
Yeah, someone just bit it right behind the camera. All right. Anyway, so I was going to talk about our summer plans and
mission trip.
The mission trip. Yeah. We're going to talk about the mission trip. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to Frakes, Kentucky. Boy, we really derailed off of that one. I always get interrupted.
Sorry,
I never
Kim
get to finish
Farmer. We have a website that Katie sells her aprons on.
Yeah.
So you can go to that. It's, what is it?
It is Goin Batty. Goin. It's, look down below. It's
in the link
there.
below. It's
in the link below.
The Goin Batty store.
Goin Batty store.
Yeah.
GoinBatty. And it's right there in the live feed. So, and right now she doesn't have a lot up there. There's a few up there, but she's not. This isn't a apron factory.
She actually,
and so
she can crank out like one about every week, week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
And
so.
if you go to our website, you're also going to see some things out of season, like crocheted hats and scarves and that kind of stuff. Kate helped make some of that stuff too, and so that all of that goes towards just supporting the Goin Batty clan. But anyway, let's move on to what I think is a huge announcement. This is everybody stop what you're doing. There's something big happening.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Even Heather doesn't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
So I have it in good knowledge and have found out through several news sources. You won't even find this on the Resistance Chicks website.
And they know everything.
And they know everything there is to know about news. Cookie Friday's coming back.
Oh, yes!
Cookie Friday is coming back, and Heather's got some brand new cookies. Oh, yeah!
Should I tell them what the one we're going to make this Friday is?
Oh, I don't know if we should give that away.
I think we will.
No, wait. Claire says no. She doesn't want to know.
She doesn't want to know?
What? Yes.
Yes, she does. Shut up, Kevin. No,
don't.
I'm going to make oatmeal cream pies.
Oatmeal cream
kind of like the Little Debbie ones.
Little Debbie cream pies.
That you get.
Yep.
Only they're going to be homemade and much better for you.
Yes.
Well, probably not better for you.
See, she said keep it a secret.
No, too late. All
gone. All gone. Yep. So, we have this thing where we do Cookie Friday. It is a treat for our kids. Actually, we put it into law through the Goin Batty thing, but olive cookies.
Ew, cookies. Ew, is that from Claire?
I love cookies.
I love.
Excuse
cookies.
me. Anyway.
Oh, Pam Hunger's like, yes, Heather.
Yes.
Like, okay.
So every Friday we try to do Cookie Friday. Well, we ran out of cookie ideas. Now we have 9 new cookie ideas over the next 9 weeks.
Hates olives.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, I get it now. Claire loves olives. No, ew,
she doesn't. I watched her eat one last night. I thought she was going to puke.
Last night?
Yeah, on her live feed.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't see that.
Why are you touching my toes?
All right.
It's all right, but you're tickling my feet, buddy.
I'm sorry.
Anything can happen during the Goin Batty live stream. Anything. So anyway, we have. Do you make cookies with raisins and macadamia nuts and cranberries? Actually, she did make one very similar to that.
I have one that is it's an oatmeal cranberry white chocolate. Cookie, which is really good. I don't like raisins.
I don't like them either. But if you go to our YouTube channel, which you're on right now, there is a playlist called the Goin Batty Kitchen. Mm-hmm. And all of our Cookie Friday cookie recipes are on there. And we would encourage you guys to check out. We're going to try to get one done this week. It may come out on Saturday. It may come out on Thursday. More than likely, it won't come out on Friday because that's when we always try to get it out, and it never comes out.
And Friday
right.
is his day off too, so
Yeah.
that's kind of our.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
because
crazy.
he's in ministry, he doesn't get Sundays off, so his day off is Friday. Friday. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're almost out of time.
Are we?
We got to keep cruising.
Okay, hurry.
We don't.
Is there anyone behind us? I forget.
Oh no, there's no one behind us.
Oh.
Well, we can take a little while, I guess.
Yeah,
then.
okay.
But Cookie Friday is going to be amazing. 9 new cookie recipes that we're going to try, and I'm totally excited about this. I have an idea.
What?
Maybe I should talk to you about it offline.
Yes, do that first. Don't surprise me. I don't like surprises.
Well, it has to do with Cookie Friday and a contest for these awesome folks that are watching right now. So we'll have to see how that turns out.
We got to make more stuff before you can give things away.
Well, I'm just saying, if we do a Cookie Friday, why should we keep the cookies when we could ship them out to a lucky winner?
They'd have to be like...
We'd have to put them in a... Well...
We have to vacuum seal them or dehydrate them.
Hi, Nancy Briggs. You're not late. You're just on time.
Yes.
So I would say definitely keep an eye out on our Cookie Friday videos, because you never know what kind of things this brain is going to think up about the things she makes. Okay. So anyway, stay tuned. That's awesome. Okay. Mr. Batty, that's an amazing idea. Well, thank you. Let's go on to my favorite things.
Yes, you should send me. I will take cookie recipes. If you want me to try something, I should
send you some Italian cookie recipes. Yes.
That would be awesome.
Please.
I am going to try a pie, though, that Lone Star suggested. It's a lemon icebox pie. It's kind of like a key lime pie, only made with lemons, because he was talking about that. I'm like, that sounds interesting. So,
yeah.
All right.
So, favorite things.
Okay,
things.
So favorite things. So, we've been talking about that. I had a great aunt who passed away. She's an amazing lady, and she made quilts, and she was 94 years old, and this was so sweet. She went to the arms of her Savior, singing gospel music with her children and her grandchildren.
Yep.
And she was singing, and then she fell asleep, and she was gone. And to me, I know that sounds like a sad story, but it's not. I mean, she was just an amazing woman. So she quilted, she crocheted, she did all of that kind of stuff, and like beautiful stuff. Well, my grandmother was given all of her yarn. And she's like, I can't use all this. Heather, do you want some of it? And I said, sure, I'll take it. So I was looking through it, and she gave me this stuff. And I found these that my Aunt Elsie made.
Hold them up a little closer to the thing right here.
And so, I don't know if you can see those. But I have about 10 of them here, if you can see that she made. And she was going to make and then I got all of her little magazines and that's what she was making. So when I get good, I'm going to try to finish what she started. I'm not that good yet, but I'm practicing. But she gave me all of her magazines, and then in it, tucked away in one of them, I found her pattern that she had written out for a quilt for her grandchild, one of her grandsons, and it has...
Hi, Virginia.
Like, she's putting the 23rd Psalms in here, and it's got stars all around it. So that was really cool. I thought that was really neat. And then we found this, and it is a bunch of bluegrass songs. And it has some of the ones that I remember from a kid, like Old Time Religion and what is it? I Saw the Light. It's got some of the more
tell me later.
Sad
not during the live stream.
Bluegrassy songs of she left me and then I shot her and things like that, the sad ones. But I mean, there was and I just thought that was really cool because I mean that's just to be able to find stuff like that. So those are my favorite things this week.
Awesome. Katie actually made one of my favorite things this week, and I'm going to talk about that. She made an incredible new mushroom sauce.
Yes,
with it's kind of an Alfredo thing with this Thrive Life sauces. And as you guys know, we are Thrive Life consultants, and we have our own Thrive Life page, and we're not going to shove it down your throat, but Watching Katie crochet is incredible. Watching Katie become a seamstress is incredible. Watching Katie learn to cook is amazing as well. And she took a little chance and she made this white cream sauce that is the bomb. You can use this stuff to make a mushroom sauce that is off the hook. So
well, and the thing too is that I struggle with, I can't, like if I have pizza, I can't have tomato sauce. It like tears my stomach up. That I don't know why. I can eat tomatoes, but the sauce itself, and usually it's when it's a sauce that comes out of a can that bothers me. If I make it homemade, I'm fine. But that white sauce on a pizza would be awesome.
Yeah,
so good.
It's good for 1 year after opening, so it's gonna last a while. One of the biggest reasons why Heather and I here's the thing. We know a lot of homesteaders. We know a lot of preppers. We are probably more homesteaders than we are preppers.
Donna was laughing at my comment. Like she left me and I shot her. That's what a lot of the bluegrass music is. It's like...
Well, that's what it was, yeah. But anyway, one of the things that happened to us is when we were first married, we bought one of these deep freezes and we tried to stock it.
By Incy Mermaid.
We tried to stock it full of food. And that thing failed on us. Recently, we had a freezer fail on us. Well, the thing about Thrive Life is it simply sits on your shelf.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take any... These are metal cans. They make that little sound when you pop them open. And they don't taste weird. This is freeze-dried food that is as natural as the day they put it in there. It has no GMO. It has no extra added stuff. And we believe in the food, and that's why we're sharing it with people. So this is actually ground beef. This is something that you can keep on your shelf, and when taco night hits, you can make taco night really easy by rehydrating the meat and cooking it.
I wanted to say something real quick.
Yes.
I'm so happy. If you go and check out the Big Family Homestead, they have a video for making a spice called sazon, which is a lot like the taco seasoning that you use.
Yes.
And we understand it because we have a son that has problems with migraines, and there's like certain things will trigger it. And some of the preservatives that they put in those packets that they use can trigger that. But it's got like 4 or 5 ingredients in it. But they have, look it up. It's under the Big Family Homestead, and it's called sazon.
Yep.
And it works just like taco seasoning. So
if you're interested in finding out more information about Thrive Life Foods, please email me at info.goinbatty at gmail.com, or just visit our Thrive Life page. We have a goinbatty.thrivelife.com. These are some of our favorite things this week. We are big fans of it. They have an amazing freeze-dried selection of food. Let me hold that can up one more time so you can see it. That is the logo, and that is what you look for when you go to the website. They have fruit that's freeze-dried. They have...
the blueberries are so good.
Oh, man.
And the strawberries are
really
also
good.
Yeah.
You can't eat iceberg lettuce. It tears my stomach up. Spinach leaves
It does
fresh.
the same thing to my aunt.
Yeah.
Yep.
And here's the thing about Thrive Life. They take the food straight off of the plant. They freeze-dry it, and they put it in a can. It has the exact same nutrients. It has the exact same vitamins that it had when it went in the can. You're just simply rehydrating it. And so when you cook with it, like when we made our twice baked potatoes, which were awesome, we used the freeze-dried broccoli, and guess what it tasted like? Broccoli. And then we added sausage, the freeze-dried sausage. You know why you add sausage to things, folks? Because sausage makes everything better. That's why. And when you can have it whenever you want it, that's a key. And that's Thrive Life food. You just put it on your shelf, you pop the thing open, and you can return to it for a year. But I'll tell you what, it's not going to last that long because this stuff is incredible. That's that. I'm going to move on to the next thing now. The next thing we need to talk about are man, our upcycling project.
Okay, so here, hold on. This is my upcycling project. So this is the yarn that was given to me by my grandmother. That was my great aunt's. So I am using this to make all sorts of little things. So I'm upcycling something from somebody else.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I have a bigger project on hand. We're going to put out a video probably tomorrow morning that shows you our chicken Conestoga wagon. Now, this is a project I was very proud of. It was a very nice place to put chickens to live. It was the McMansion of chicken coops, in my mind.
I'm not sure about that.
It's a small mind. But what we did is we took some video tonight of how it's weathered, and it has not weathered well.
I think we just had the wrong kind of wheels on it.
Maybe, but it also has other issues that we're going to address. So one of the things we've got to do is we've got to make another chicken coop for our chickens, and this is kind of an ongoing battle since I've been back in Ohio, is to find the perfect setup for the chickens. We've been doing it kind of haphazardly and spending $50 there, $70 there, and doing things kind of like that. I'm going to try to find a chicken coop that'll hold my chickens, and we can continue building the great chicken empire. And it will be glorious!
Glorious!
Wait, we can't do that because we're going to be moving to a place where we can't have chickens.
Whatever.
For right now, we can't. So, yeah.
Well, always pooping in my Cheerios.
I know.
Oh, well. Anyway,
we need a place to put them now, though.
So what we're going to do, we've got 5 that are probably going to meet Jesus. Because
they're roosters.
They're roosters. Or we're going to give them away. Or I won't go into all that. But anyway, we need to build a new chicken tractor.
Jaton, we are moving to an urban environment in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah.
It's about probably, 40, 45 minutes from where we are right now. But
yeah.
Actually where we're moving is back into our home that we started in when we first started our family. So right now it's being rented out by
We have
somebody.
a little time. Let's tell them. This house we bought when we first got married. And we have owned it.
Terry, she upcycles her husband's money.
Okay, that's funny.
I like that.
If I had any, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We still own that home and have rented it out for the last X amount of years. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to talk about this too much on camera, but it's coming available again. And instead of leasing it again, we're moving into it because we've been in a temporary situation.
Yeah, and Percy Green, that's why we're moving, is because we are in a temporary situation right now with family, so we need our own space. So
I'll wait.
There you go. Sorry.
Okay. No, but we still get to farm this land. So the acre and a half that we're on, we're still going to be doing a garden. We'll still be able to keep some chickens, and we're going to keep our rabbits as well. Mm-hmm. The rabbit business hasn't even started yet because they're not old enough to, get busy. Jeez.
Took a while.
Once that happens, then we'll let you know how the chicken business is going. We have some transitions that are coming up, but they're exciting transitions, and this place where we're going to move to is a big part of that. It's going to set us into kind of a urban homesteader, which is a unique thing to do.
So.
But yeah, that's where we're at on that. So I've got to upcycle this chicken tractor and make it something that's going to work for the chickens a little better. I just don't think I think what we've done is we have a good start on it, but it's just not going to stay that good because there's too many things wrong. You watch the video in the morning, you'll see what I'm talking about. Anyway, next thing is the chicken rabbit update. We've got some cool looking birds out there. Yeah. Can I just say that? We got some that have the goat going out like this, and they walk around, they look awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. So
yeah, the rabbit poop has become very valuable.
Yeah, we put it in our compost pile, and we had 2 going. We had one right next to the other one, and we've moved everything into one now, so we can kind of start another one. And it's looking pretty good. Like for next year, we're gonna have some pretty good compost going on there, which is really great. So
oh, Carol Julian. She's from Kettering.
Okay, so is she related to the Julians we know?
I don't know.
Do you know a Stephen Julian?
Well, yeah, don't give that away if you don't want to.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's funny.
We know some people with the last name Julian.
Yeah,
quite
we
a
do.
few of them.
Awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah,
we're my hometown is Kettering. I was raised in Kettering.
Yeah. No, she doesn't.
Oh well, no worries.
No worries.
But yeah, we're very familiar with Kettering, and our we won't disclose where we're going to live because we don't want weird things to happen. But we will say that it's in that Dayton area again.
Yeah.
But we're excited. I think it's going to be a great fit for our family. And back to rabbit poop, folks. Sorry.
Jeez, Kevin.
There's something wrong with me tonight. We've been using it on the garden, and it stinks. I did not have any idea that it was going to smell this bad.
Yeah, rabbit poop stinks.
Oh, it's awful. It
almost smells worse than chicken poop does.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Well, I guess it depends because, like, if you're like when your chickens are all closed in, that smells pretty bad.
But it doesn't burn your plants the way that chicken poop does.
Yeah, chicken poop will burn your plants. You can't put it on right away.
So, well, I will. Yes, I will still be able to pasture at the church I'm at now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Silkies are great.
We do love them. Yep.
Pig poop smells really bad.
Ooh,
yes, it does.
Yes, that.
Ooh.
I had a great
Trumped
uncle.
And wow.
I had a great uncle who had a pig farm, and he was out in Indiana. And there's like a certain area in Indiana when you drive out there, like you can smell it.
Oh,
and it's more of those industrial pig farms.
Well, Hoffman Family Homestead knows because they have.
It's stinky. So.
I mean, they have something like 4,000 pigs there.
Oh, I have to say, when we went to
kidding.
the Resistance Chicks, their pigs, they do a lot of kind of Joel Salatin type animal husbandry stuff. Their pigs didn't stink.
We have a question.
Yes.
Rabbit poop. Do you have to let it sit for a year?
No, you can put it straight onto your plants.
Boom.
It's one of the few manures that you can put right onto your plants or put right into your dirt. And it's fine.
It's gold. Because they're eating alfalfa, basically. They're eating grass, and that's what, Okay, Hoffman Family Farms, I put cow manure on the garden, but I don't know if I would be able to deal with chicken poop. Oh, yeah. That's pig poop, sorry. Yeah, that's rough. That's a tough smell. I like the bacon it produces, though. Anyway.
It's nasty.
Yeah, okay, yeah, for sure. We're reading the live stream.
Sorry.
We promised ourselves that one of us would talk and one of us would read.
Yeah.
And we're failing miserably at that. But anyway, let's go to resources.
Okay.
Resources. Now, Dolphin Man, I hope you're still on. Maggie, I hope you're still on. This is very important. You gave us a gift that was a huge blessing at the meetup. And Heather read it. So she wants to talk to you about that.
So, because we're moving into a house with smaller acreage, I still want to do growing our own food there. We're going to be on about a quarter of an acre. And so, Dolphin Man gave us this book.
Ta-da!
Square Foot Gardening.
Yep.
And it shows how you can plant things in, like 4x4 or 4x8 square feet. But the garden beds look like this. And so say that you're planting a tomato plant. Well, you would plant it in one of those squares. If you're planting radishes, you can plant 16 of them in one of those squares. So it tells you like what you can plant and how many of them, and what works best with what, and how to do things if you need it to trellis up. And
Yep.
in a yard that small, this can be invaluable to us, and we would be able to grow a lot of stuff in a very small space.
Absolutely.
So that was I was really excited about that.
It was a huge blessing. It was massively unexpected, and it became a very important tool. And that's what homesteading has been. Community coming around us, gifting us with amazing tools that's been equipping us. We love you too. Here's my resource. It's Self-Reliance. It is talking, this particular one is talking about solar kits and rabbits and quails. It goes it goes on with a lot of different stuff. This is a great periodical with great resources in it. I highly recommend checking it out, at least a little bit. It talks about all kinds of different things from your garden to livestock.
To building things.
To building things to...
how to prune a tree.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
It's got quail.
It's phenomenal.
Oh,
yes, it
I'm
does.
sorry,
have
you said phenomenal.
I said phenomenal. Everybody, yeah, there you go.
It's kind of like a drinking game because he
only we don't drink.
We don't drink. It's water.
Water.
Because he says phenomenal a lot.
You say that a lot. Watch our videos and count how many times. But here's something cool I saw there. They have made put in here. Let me see if I can find it. A rabbit tractor that I think is just really creative. And so I don't know if you can see that or not. Can you see it?
Yep.
See that? Isn't that great? That's natural. That's a rabbit eating what they're supposed to eat, and then you could add supplement to it. So I'm thinking that maybe that's the rabbit tractor we need to build after I repair the chicken tractor, and get us going on that. So
we need to have I guess kind of like rabbit prison where they're separated from each other because you can't have boys and boys together or they get violent with each other. And then you can't have boys and girls together because then you just got a whole lot of rabbits everywhere right now. So we don't need that many.
We have 3 girls and we have 3 boys. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, here's kind of some other links that you guys need to be aware of. There is a bunch of fantastic resources. My cell phone, we do all of our videos on my iPhone. So we're actually videotaping this on my iPhone right now. But there is an app called Mother Earth News, and it's a cheap buy and it's a great resource. There are a ton of fantastic apps. What's going on?
She says, "Do you know the song from the Muppets, the Phenomena song?" I say Phenomena.
Phenomena. Do 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 do. Phenomena. Do 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 do. Boom boom.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay, sorry. But anyway, this app has the magazine Mother Earth News on it. Then, as if that wasn't enough, they have an app to help you count your chicken eggs. You can download the app, and when you go out to the coop, you collect the eggs, and you just
we're getting applause.
Count, are we? That's awesome. Thank you very much. We'll be here all week, folks. Tip your waitresses. But they have an app that'll help you keep track of your egg count, which is a big deal when you're selling eggs and it's a part of making money. The one thing that's been a blessing to us is the eggs that we sell feed our chickens because we sell those eggs and we use the money to buy their feed. And we break even on it we do a little more than break even, but it pays for the chicken feed. We don't go through a lot of it, but we do use it. So that's cool. Let's see. I think that's all for the apps that I can remember right now. There's one that tracks cattle prices. There's one that'll help you figure out your gardening and when the best time to plant is. I just had an amazing conversation at Speedway this morning. Speedway is a convenience store where I get free coffee. I had a conversation with a Mason police officer whose father would do his job at, I think it was Ford, and then on the weekends would farm 200 acres, and just, had a full-time job and then would farm, and the family would help him. This was an incredible guy with an incredible story. But it's meeting people like that I wasn't expecting. I just mentioned it, and he's like, "Hey, we garden too. Did you plant before the freeze or after?" And I said, "Oh, we planted before because we're goofballs."
Yeah.
But
because I didn't listen to my grandmother, and I should have.
But it was a great conversation, and I really enjoyed meeting the guy. So anyway, some other links that I want to let you guys know about is we are an Amazon affiliate, and so down below you'll see a link to Amazon. If you decide to buy anything from Amazon, it would really help us out if you would use our link. Click through to that Amazon link. We make a little finder's fee for that, and that would be one way that you can support our family, and it doesn't cost you a dime. You're going to go and pay the same price no matter where you go on Amazon to buy your stuff, but if you do it through our link, it would really help us out.
And the other thing too is that if we put something that we use in that link, it's just not random stuff. It's actually stuff that we use.
Yeah.
you'll see in one of them, like, the KitchenAid mixer is in there because I use that thing all the time. I swear by it. I mean, if you're going to invest in something, a kitchen tool, a KitchenAid mixer is where it's at. I mean, it does a multitude of things.
For sure.
Yeah. So
for sure.
So we're just not putting random crap up there. We actually use the stuff that's there.
Now our link that's underneath here right now that you'll find is general, and it doesn't go specific place, but still the premise is the same. We're trying to give you an insight into why we use what we use, but the link that I have today goes somewhere general.
Okay.
Anyway, also Thrive Life Foods. Please.
Good night, Claire.
Good night, Claire. Thrive Life Foods, there's a link below. And then, of course, the Goin Batty store. We have a lot on there. And I'll tell you what's been difficult is I haven't gotten everything on the website that I need to get on the website. So stay tuned to that. There's going to be a couple of extra things that are going to be there. So check that out. I have one channel shout out, and it's here at the end, and I just wanted to make sure we've been kind of watching them because of their garden. He Provides Homestead.
Yep.
That is a really cool channel to see how people garden, and those folks know what they're doing. Heather's watched it, I've watched it, and I'm not much of a gardener, but I really enjoy what I can do, and so
they're in Indiana, which is like one state over from us, and not only do they do their garden, but they also have a community garden that they're part of, and and there was one where it was like I was so sad for them because their land flooded and the community garden flooded. We had some like freakishly big rainstorms that swept through here and then went into Indiana, and they seem to have come back around from that. But it's really interesting watching them and what they're doing and everything. So
absolutely. Well, guys, that is the show for tonight. I think we might have gone over a little bit. Just about 10, 11 minutes. But we're grateful for you, and we ask that you would just let us pray for you. We're going to close out...
Blessings, friend, phenomena.
We'll close it out with song when we're done. But one of the things we do is we pray, because we're Christians, and that's how we roll. We're going to say a quick prayer, and if that's not your thing, good night. Thanks for joining us. If that is your thing, stick around, and we'll say a quick prayer. Here we go. Father God, I just thank you for today. I thank you for the privilege of another day of life. Lord, bless our homesteads. Bless our families. Bless our efforts to live our lives in an act of worship towards you. Father, I pray for everybody and all of their prayer concerns, the ones that are spoken, the ones that are not spoken. I lift up all of these folks and all of the things that they're into and ask for you to give them an opportunity to see how you're working in their life. Give them those little God sightings that they need as encouragements for their week. This is the midweek point where we get kind of antsy and we get kind of tired and we just kind of like, when's the weekend ever going to come? Lord, just bring peace to our heart and bring a lot of just love and help us show it to other people. Father God, I ask that you would just continue to show us how to live through your word. It's in your son's precious name. Amen. All right, guys, that's our show. We're so glad you joined us. We are going to move on to the next thing, which is probably us
getting in our jammies,
putting the chickens away, going to sleep.
Because we're old and we go to bed now. So actually, it's a little early for bed. So.
Not for me. No. All right. Well, blessings, you guys. Thanks for joining us. More updates as we go.
Bye.